Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Scott here, and today we're going to talk about what the Lakers' best rotation would be. What we saw of the Lakers in these three losses were many different variances of rotations to match up with the opposing team. The Blazers and Spurs always played with a true big man, which meant anytime the Lakers put Kyle Kuzma at the 5, they struggled to rebound and defend. Against the Rockets, they could play small a lot more because the only time the Rockets play with a true center is with Clint Capella. Their rotations were always off because they had to match up with the opposing team, and there were a lot of strange lineups as a result. One of these lineups includes Rondo, Lonzo, and Lance on the floor at the same time, along with Ingram and LeBron. This was the group that was out there during the fight with the Rockets. This type of lineup does not work very well from a half-court standpoint, because it's all playmakers and nobody that plays at their best off the ball. There's also very little shooting in a lineup like this, and the same would go if JaVale McGee was inserted instead of one of these players. They need to be spreading the minutes so that there's a quality blend of shooting and defense, while still remaining relatively big to rebound. To start this off, Josh Hart needs to be starting and continuing to get big minutes. I know I've been saying that he should be in the second unit because of his rebounding, but I have a way to fix this. KCP has been terrible in these games so far, and he's only averaged 21 minutes per game because he's played so bad. If KCP is going to play significantly less minutes than Hart, then there's no point in him starting anymore. Lonzo should start over Rondo so he can start developing that chemistry with LeBron and getting the big minutes he's capable of playing. Brandon Ingram should still remain a starter with LeBron because I trust his defense against first unit guys a lot more than Kuzma. JaVale McGee will still start at center, and then the bench includes Kuzma, Rondo, KCP, Lance, Wagner, and Williams. Now I'm going to break down every possible lineup and situation to remain true to the goal of having a quality blend of shooting and defense. The starting lineup is great. They have Josh Hart's consistent shooting in over KCP, and Lonzo has looked much better from 3 this season. Brandon Ingram hasn't gotten his shot to fall yet, but with Hart and Lonzo he won't need to shoot as much. Then I have Kuzma and Lance coming in for Hart and Ingram. This is almost a like-for-like change, as Kuzma can fill in for Hart's floor spacing and scoring, while Lance can fill in for Ingram's playmaking and slashing. The rest of that first quarter second unit includes Rondo, Wagner, and KCP, who replaced Lonzo, JaVale, and LeBron. This second unit possesses plenty of shooting with Kuzma, Wagner, and KCP, and as a main option to run the offense through in Kuzma at his natural power forward position. Also with Wagner at the 5, they can have a much better rebounder to make up for Josh Hart. At the start of the second quarter, Ingram comes back in for Lance, and then Williams comes in for Wagner. Ingram is a better shooter than Lance, so he makes up for part of the shooting loss with Wagner, and Williams is a better defender and rebounder than Wagner, so overall it makes the change worth doing. LeBron comes back in for Kuzma, and then the rest of the starting lineup plays together for a few minutes. Then Kuzma comes back in for Ingram because Ingram will have played 8 minutes straight and could use a rest. To start the second half, the same starters that began the game will start, and then Ingram once again comes out for Kuzma 5 minutes in. Then the entire second unit comes in at the same time, which usually isn't a good idea, but that just seemed like the best way to spread the minutes for this. Then to start the fourth quarter, LeBron comes in for Kuzma and Williams comes in for Wagner. This is a pretty bad shooting lineup for only a couple minutes, but there's still KCP available to catch and shoot. They can always just keep Wagner in if they want to instead of bringing in Williams, but I wanted those two to get a clean split at center. Ingram comes in for Lance, and then to close the game we have Lonzo, Hart, Ingram, LeBron, and Kuzma at center. This is the Lakers' death lineup and the lineup they should go to be at their best offensively. Kuzma is a poor defender as a center, but in order to achieve optimal spacing and transition game, this seems like the best way for them to close teams out. Of course, this rotation overall is really just a cookie cutter idea of how many minutes players should get, and trying to make everything work if matchups were not that big of an issue. Obviously, if the Lakers were playing the Spurs with Aldridge at the 5, they would want a much better post defender like McGee or Williams on him at all times. This is just what I believe is the best way for them to give their best players minutes, and spreading them out accordingly so they don't go through scoring droughts or getting out rebounded throughout the game. If you'd like to download this rotation, you'll need to move Jonathan Williams out of the reserves. Click load rotations and search for ScottBall07, and it's named Lakers 1819 rotation. That's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more content like this, then make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.